separation may be the answer.
Why we always get the blame for everything?
Federal government policy has not been instituted to help black people ever, but really to make them dependents of the state when they were doing just damn fine without the federal government that you want in more people's lives.
What's up, everybody? My name is Amir Odom, and in today's video, we'll be reacting to part 2 of Steven Crowder's Black Fatigue video. And if you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, there's a content creator named Steven Crowder who is admittedly more on the right side of politics, and he went inside of a black barbershop to discuss black issues. And for me, I thought it was a really dope thing that he did, and it stirred up a lot of great conversations to be had about race relations in America. Because truth be told, there are a lot of black people as well that are starting to get this black fatigue, which is literally in the name, getting tired of black people, essentially. So with that being said, let's dive right into this video. And also there are chapters in this video, so if you want to go and pick a certain topic you want our opinions on, or see what the black guys have to say in the barbershop, feel free to hit the chapter. And as well, feel free to hit the subscribe button, help the channel grow a ton. So let's just dive right into this.
The two young men that went to Tennessee State set up in Charlie's, in his model, his MO, we want to have the debate. Illegal aliens got to do this, and DEI got to do this. Now, why would you go to a black to a black college, which Charlie didn't do? That wasn't his thing.
If you're unfamiliar with what he's just talking about, I was actually supposed to be there. I said no because I had something to do that evening, but the university is about 20 minutes away from me. But the guys at that table, they literally called me to come there, and I just couldn't make it. So that's just crazy in itself. But he's talking about the situation where there were some kids that were more on the right that went to an HBCU and set up a table and was asking questions, and that was it. And it turned into this giant race thing, and they were called racist, and they were kicked off campus. It's so dramatic. I'll put some clips here specifically of what he's talking about. And there's nothing wrong with that, and I think it is exciting that Charlie has incentivized and really inspired more people to go out there on his campuses to ask questions, because that's what a college should be. You should be thinking critically, you should be challenged, you should debate, you should have conversations. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
He was going to big PWIs, go and sit down with the big school. Why would these two guys go now, with the country in the state of upheaval that it is, go sit on this campus
with no permits? With
no permits to go have a debate with people that didn't know they were coming.
Why is that a problem?
It's a problem because, number one, you didn't get the permit. You didn't even go the proper route to do it. But secondly,
you knew what that was going to do.
At the time that
what is it going to do?
You were going to incite. You were going to incite
I go into
unrest.
liberal campuses. I go to lesbian colleges.
You were going to incite unrest.
How are you going to incite unrest? I understand. Let me back up. I understand if I were to go to, say, for example, I don't know, a rap concert, and I wore a MAGA hat. I understand I might get clocked. I understand there might be some violence to be had, but that's not on my part. That actually gets to the core problem at hand, is how violent the left can clearly be when confronted with something they disagree with. You see, oh, well, he should have got the permits. I agree, they should have got a permit. But even if they had a permit, that same thing would have happened. Like Steven Crowder says, he's gone to college campuses where he's been kicked off. I've seen so many of my friends be kicked off of campuses for speaking, and it's absurd. We should be able to have conversations. That guy was like, why would they do that? Why would they go there to talk? The same way Steven is there right now. Is it a little bit expected that they were going to be met with violence and they should have a security team and all that? Yes. What does that say that you can expect violence for wearing a MAGA hat and sitting at a table? If you think it's that dumb or that stupid, just walk by them. You don't have to be there. You don't have to engage with them. If it really is stupid to you, don't pay it any mind.
See, State University.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll tell you what. Let me go.
Tennessee.
We got a folding table in the back. I'm gonna take that table. I'm gonna go over here to this Jewish synagogue up here off the tollway, and I'm gonna go sit down and I'm gonna start saying disparaging things against them. Do you think I'm gonna be allowed to sit there and stay there? No. They're gonna escort me out of that building.
Well,
right?
sure. If it's private property, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So but are you saying they had an...
But even then, like, just saying disparaging things, that's the whole point of the conversation. The table that these guys set up and the things that they were saying was not disparaging against black people. There are many black people who are willing to have a dialogue with them. There are black people out there that agree with the things that they were saying. It's really not that simple, and I wish more nuance was had. But as we've gone through this video in part 1, the homeboy in this jersey stresses me out, and this is only the beginning. Oh dear. He stresses me out because the victimhood that he perpetrates, and like everything's a problem. We're gonna see in this video, everything's a problem. A victim this, my ancestors this. It's like, bro, you got on all these diamond chains and shit. I would swear you're fine. I would think that you're fine, but the way you act makes it seem like you're not.
Affirmative, and I believe it, affirmative action is racist by its definition, my opinion. It excludes on race. That is a form of racism. So anyway, she sat down, she said, young black girl.
Which I want to clarify, because that is very true and that is a good point to be made. It is racist to look at certain demographics and say, actually, because you have brown skin, I look at you as less than white people and Asian people, so you need a hand up. And basing it purely off of the color of their skin and not the merit or the character that they have. That is the problem with the affirmative action and everything going on, especially on these college campuses.
But if it wasn't for affirmative action, she said, I wouldn't be here at UT. I said, why do you say that? She said, well, because I wouldn't be allowed. I said, well, what were your SATs? Remember the numbers, they were very impressive. I said, what was your GPA? It was very impressive. It was over a 4.0. I said, that's really sad to me that you don't know, and you'll never know that you deserve to be here, because I can tell you, based on if you're telling me the truth, you of course would get into UT. And you didn't need a government program. And you could see in her face, her tears welled up because she had been told that she needed someone else to give it to her. And that removed her sense of pride in her accomplishment. So I said the exact same thing as Charlie did, saying you can never know if you earned it, a meritocracy, because of DEI. And she changed her mind. And she said, you know what? I should be here, and I don't need DEI. Or affirmative action in that case.
In that particular, in order to believe that. In that particular instance,
and certainly not from a white guy.
In that particular instance, it might have been completely accurate. But there's also, if you want to.
In that particular instance, then that might have been accurate. That's the whole point of what more people on the center right are saying about affirmative action is that, and I've said this before too, I look at black people differently now because of all these initiatives put in place where they're just giving handouts. And it's like, damn, it removes the merit. It removes the hard work that these people did, that a lot of them actually did. A lot of the stuff isn't handouts, but because we know people are doing handouts, we look at it from a different lens now. Because now when I see a black person in a successful area, whether it be pilot, doctor, actor, doesn't matter, there's a part of me that's sitting back like, did you earn that? Or are you giving it because of DEI and affirmative action, and we got to get reach our number quota of blacks and get this person in because they're black? Or was it because of the work that you did? And that's the sad part that has stemmed from affirmative action and DEI practices out there. So much so that this random black girl on this campus felt slighted, felt like, damn, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for affirmative action, when actually she's smart enough to be there without it, and she didn't need a government program to lift her up just based merely off the color of her skin. It is 2025, you guys. There's no need for this.
We talking about where the money's supposed to come from. It's companies that are trillion-dollar, billion-dollar companies that started in the 1600s, 1700s, that are still around, and they benefited and profited immensely from that.
What if it's a company that never had slaves? Should they pay reparations?
No, not that the company had slaves, but we had companies that insured slaves. You had companies that transported slaves.
But what if it's a company that did none of it? Should they pay?
No, if they didn't have anything to do with chattel slavery, no, they shouldn't.
Neither did I.
Companies that should.
But
let me say this.
But your grandfather,
do you understand the point?
But if your grandfather was here in the United States, I don't know. You said you from Canada. I don't know. We not worried about it. We worry about the people.
What if your grandfather was a slave owner and mine wasn't?
My grandfather was.
What if he was? But my point is, what if he was?
I can't, you guys. There's so much to unpack. Okay, so one, yes, there are a lot of companies out there that exist now that benefited off the backs of slavery. Even extending this to, say, slavery happened and it helped this business grow, and then they had kids, the masters had kids, and those kids were able to have a comfortable childhood, and they were able to go to school, and they went to school, and then they started this other business, and it all goes back to them having the access that was built off the backs of black people. You can build a big web for anything, truth be told. So yeah, on one end, he making a point. It is valid that there are a lot of companies out there that benefited from the backs of slavery. I mean, you even think about the amount of companies out there that benefited from Nazi Germany. There were so many, we hired Operation Paperclip. There's so many things in the United States that have benefited from Nazis. Come on. There's a lot of corrupt things in our world and in our history that has led to where we are today. And I think it's a slight disservice to just keep focusing on what could have been or who benefited from what when it's already it's so we're so removed from it. Yes, those companies still exist, but as far as the rights that a black man is afforded today in the year 2025, we're independent, we're free, we can do what we want to do. And using this logic of, well, back in the day there was slavery and this company benefited from slavery, we can apply that to literally everything in life right now. Yes, we can learn and grow from our past, but we have to also go forward. And there's nothing wrong with that. And as a black man with this all fresh outfit and diamond chains and rings and watches, it is clear you don't need reparations and you're doing just fine.
Because
My grandfather was a sharecropper in Plaquemine, Louisiana, in a little small town called Bayagula. So he was 2 generations removed from slavery. So I know I have a root in slavery.
Okay.
Somebody owned my great-great-grandfather.
What if I have no root in slavery?
That's so disgusting. Like that, the same thing for me. Like I know my lineage. I know the whole slave story and the masters sleeping with the slaves and making my grandma and my grandparent and my 4 times great grandpa being white. Like I'm damn near 30% white, you guys. I've done several DNA tests. I'm literally 30% white, and it's because of the slave masters back in the day. But it's just disgusting to watch that, like, I come from a slave lineage and my grandfather was a slave and like he's saying it because he feels like he deserves something. He feels so deserving because of his past family's trauma, when in reality he is his ancestors' dream. The trauma should be gone. You are their dream right now. You are living and doing everything they couldn't. You're not even the dream. They couldn't even fathom this life. Like, they literally could not even fathom the life that you're having right now as a free black man in this country in 2025. They could not even fathom it. Yet here you are, still stuck on the past and stuck on, well, my great grandfather was a slave 2 times removed and I come from slavery. Honestly, instead of looking at that as like, oh, well, pity me, like we went through some rough stuff. Look at where you're at now. Some people out here are just way too blessed to be stressed, okay? So many people out there are just blind to what their life is actually like. Turn off the TV, pause YouTube, turn off your phone, and just sit and be present and understand where you are in this society, where you are in this world, in this realm, in your life. And for 2 seconds, just realize that you are more than likely the person you've been dreaming about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, the old you was dreaming for where you are at right now today. But you're so busy, you're so jaded, you're so focused on everything else that you can't even sit and acknowledge the blessings in your life right now. And that's how I feel for a lot of this conversation around reparations, especially regarding black people, because they don't recognize how much better we have it than our ancestors. And for some reason, everybody's still hooked up on, well, we need a check. What is a check going to do for the black community? Especially when we know how in shambles our culture is and has become.
You don't owe anything. If your grandfather from Canada, he wasn't down here owning slaves.
Okay, I'm just trying to. So then people who didn't own,
down here telling
we don't pay reparations.
He owe money.
But Steve, here's what I'm telling you, though. Hold on a second. Here's what I'm telling you. If you're to go through the numbers, so do we agree? If I have no connection to slavery whatsoever, that I don't owe.
You, Steve,
me.
You don't.
We agree.
Don't.
Okay. So do you realize that you could take all the white people in this country, and if you're going to add up everyone where you could actually trace the lineage to slave owners or had any involvement, you would end up with maybe 2 or 3%. 2 or 3% of white people in this country.
There go them numbers. There go them numbers. You throw out. There go them numbers. There go them numbers.
Most of us have nothing.
Somebody did it. Somebody did.
Yeah,
and somebody
Africans.
There go them numbers. There go them numbers. Somebody did it. Stephen has a point. There's so many people removed from slavery. There's so many people that had nothing to do with slavery, to the point where if you actually did tally up all the white people in existence today and the family lineages that own slaves, the check that every single black person would get, it's so stupid. I don't get the like why am I going to get a check for my ancestors went through? And who tallies up the check? It's like, oh, well, even though I'm super white, my great-great-great-great-granddad, like, what if you were both? Like, my 4 times great-grandpa's white slave master, he owned slaves, but then he also owned My grandparents, do I get a check? Since technically my 5 times great grandparents were a white woman and a white man. Like, you see how convoluted it can get? It's pointless. It just, there's no point for this. Like, that's the thing. Like, reparations isn't about creating change. It's just a quick fix that won't solve the root issue. And like we've seen so far, in my opinion, is just another route, another way to keep majority of black people pushed down in this victimhood mindset. And the government owes me, the government owes me. And you know what? That's not just in politics. That's just not in culture, but it's in the products that we use every single day. Companies are constantly pushing different ideas that are less about the results and just more about keeping the sales going. It's why I started using today's sponsor, Henson Shaving. Instead of adding gimmicks, they had aerospace engineers design a razor that is pure precision. No marketing fluff or innovation just to keep you locked in this repetitive loop of buying another cartridge refill. No, none of that. And trust, as someone with sensitive skin, it is awesome to see the research that Henson Shaving has done that shows their razors causes significantly less irritation compared to the drugstore multi-blade razors. And honestly, ever since I started shaving, I never understood why things just kept getting more complicated. Vibrating handles, heated strips, 6-7 blades on the cartridges, like, what's going on? And the crazy part, with all them different things they got going on, the shave never got better. It's almost like the goal wasn't to improve the product, but to make sure that you just keep buying more of it. And trust, it's not minimalistic for aesthetic, it's minimalistic for function. I didn't realize how much I hated getting razor burn and razor bumps until I just stopped getting them. So if you want to upgrade your grooming routine, go to hensonshaving.com/Amir Odom, or just use code Amir Odom at checkout. You'll get 100 free blades, which is 2 years worth, with the purchase of a razor. Just make sure that both are in your cart for the code to work.
Into a race issue and said black people were more at risk.
Well, you just asked why we didn't separate ourselves from the
No,
extremists.
I
and
said
I'm saying,
after.
why don't y'all separate yourselves from the extremists?
Well, of course we do.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, they suck.
I haven't seen that. I personally haven't seen that.
We all do. It's never enough.
I pay attention to all that stuff.
We all do. Donald Trump did. He was still able to raise. He said, I'm not talking about white supremacists and neo-Nazis who are horrible and should be condemned totally. The media cut it out. Did you know that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. You probably heard he said there were fine people on both sides, right?
This man just said, I pay attention to all that. I'm looking at all sides. How did you... Anybody who's looking at all sides has seen the full clip of what Trump was talking about. That's crazy to me. I look at everything, but you didn't know this one simple thing? The biggest hoax out there?
I heard that clip.
Right
but
before that, he goes,
look,
look, I'm not saying white supremacists are neo-Nazis who should be condemned totally, but outside of that, you had on this monument argument, fine people on both sides.
And you had some very bad people in that group, but you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly.
Why do you think the media lied to you?
But if he said if that's true, then let me ask you a question.
It is true. I can show you the clip.
Well, why did he not sue those media networks like he said when the interview with Kamala Harris was edited?
He did, and he won.
Well, why was that not publicized?
Why do you think? You think the news agencies want to publicize their losing?
That was going to be my next point. Is media does what it does on both sides.
No, the media is incredibly left.
See, that's the point.
If
That's
you
the
line up
problem
the
we always
media-
have is because when one person says, well, there's problems on your side too,
Sure.
you say, well, no.
No. Sometimes it's not both sides. Sometimes it's incredibly biased. Sometimes there are malicious people on one side, okay? It's okay to point that out. It's not always a both sides issue. It's just not.
Sure.
You say, well, no, you dismiss those, and you say, we're just going to point to your problems.
Nope. Name me one right-wing source of media. Name me one outside of Fox News.
Acknowledging y'all's.
Name me one outside of Fox News. ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC. Local. Name me one outside of Fox News that's conservative. You can't.
Right, Bart.
Can you? Besides Fox, what mainstream outlet, and by mainstream, I'm talking stripped down like OG news, like what we grew up on, what we were taught in journalism classes and in school, like NBC, CBS, CNN, MS, like all that kind of stuff. Like besides Fox, which other ones are right-leaning? It's clearly not just one side. It's clearly a heavy bias on the left.
You can't.
Right, Bart.
That's not a mainstream outlet. Right, Bart?
Yeah.
Then we could go Salon. Then we could go HuffPo.
Yep.
For years in this country, ABC, NBC, CBS, Now you go CNBC, MSNBC, CNN.
And once again, all of them
are
got
left.
their shit. All of them got their shit.
All of them are left.
Yeah, all of them got their shit.
New York Times, Washington Post, go through them,
All
right?
of them
We
got
have to
their
agree on that. Hey, that's why you were lied to.
But that's the thing. People lose the ability to think critically, think for themselves, and they just lean whatever way the publication or the platform is telling them.
Right.
Like you.
Now it's up to people that run these platforms and publications to be responsible with their words,
And they're not.
and how they're leading people. But you got one half of the country that's purely led to think that these people are bad, and then that's all it is. It's just
I think
No, a lot of the times you have one side giving the facts for what it is. I'm not saying the right, like Fox and all that's 100% perfect, no. But they're more based on common sense than everything else we have on the left, especially regarding the coverage of Trump and the lies. They manipulated the media into thinking Trump didn't denounce neo-Nazis and white supremacists.
No, we don't control shit. Once again, why we always get the blame for everything? We don't control nothing.
what percentage of commentators? What percentage of commentators are black?
I don't know. I don't watch mainstream.
It's
news.
about 25%, despite
Oh,
being
the
12%
beat
of the
and the
population.
beat
But they
got
still
sick
working
good.
on the
Y'all
platform.
say, oh, no, this mouth like liquor. Sorry. I had to. That was nasty. I'm wet. I am wet. My allergies are off the rails. What this man say? I need to go back. I'm sorry.
We always get the blame for everything.
Oh, he talking about we don't own anything. We always get the blame. We don't own anything. We control the controllable. He's talking about we don't control anything. We control our actions. We control our actions. We control where money is being spent. We control the crime. We control who's supporting what. We control the culture, how we advocate for, studying, tutoring, good things. There's a lot of personal accountability and control that black people have and can have. But one thing is for certain, with that attitude, with the constantly putting blame everywhere else, it's not gonna happen.
For everything. We don't control nothing.
What percentage of commentators? What percentage of commentators are black?
I don't know. I don't watch mainstream.
It's about 25%, despite being 12% of the population.
But they still working on a
Seems really-
platform that is not controlled or ran by black people.
So
we don't discriminate.
So when you lay out
We're giving the script.
responsibility,
So
you're laying out
is Van
responsibility.
Jones not?
Thank you, Stephen. It's like, okay, Van Jones, Sonny Reed, Trevor Noah, Don Lemon, all these black folk, all these different panels. So they all don't mean nothing now. They still work for the white man. It don't matter. They still work for the white man. Ooh, this man's insufferable. I'm sorry, you guys. He bringing out Jamal. The first one I tried to say calm and demure, but this one I'm getting a little hood and ratchet. He's pissing me off. He's very frustrating. Very.
Black?
He black.
Sonny Hostin not black?
Black, yes.
They're allowed to express their opinion.
Is he on the Van Jones network? Is Van Jones on the
German's
Van
numbers
Jones
were dog
network?
shit. That's why she got fired.
Is he on the Van Jones network? Why does he have to own his network for his voice to be valid to you? Is that not a problem? We're talking about left-wing media. We're talking about a black man on the news that's saying the same things you saying right now, but all of a sudden they still don't deserve a reputation because they still work for the white man. What kind of mindset is this man in? You guys, you ain't gonna get nowhere thinking like this. You're just not. You're genuinely not. It doesn't matter that that the black people working for the white people on the left side of the media and all of the nation be discussed. No, there are black people in positions of power. There's a lot of self-control that black people have and can do.
But if you add it up, okay, where you believe the lie that he said something racist, let's just take that, okay? There's some hate put out there against Charlie Kirk that's not true. If someone believes the lie that he wants to erase trans people, that's what the people were also told. He wants to erase trans people, which is a lie. That person hates him too. If someone believes that he's a fascist or he's a Nazi who doesn't believe we should hold democratic elections, which is a lie, and people believe that, hey, that adds another piece of hatred and justification too. If someone believes that he's a misogynist, a sexist, who doesn't think that women should be allowed to vote or have the right to, earn their place in the workplace, that's not. And every single one of them is dishonest, just like no one here knew that Donald Trump said, I condemn white supremacists and neo-Nazis totally. So
And I still don't know that he said it. I hear you saying he said it, but I'd have to go see it in order to know it.
okay, so
That's
let's
what I'm saying.
assume for a second that I'm not lying, and right after this, I make the references available always. And you see that. And let's assume that I'm not lying and Charlie Kirk wasn't racist. And let's assume that he didn't want to commit genocide against trans people. And let's assume for a second that I'm not lying and there's a 12 times murder rate from black toward white people as opposed to white toward. Let's assume that I'm not lying about any of this because I'm kind of good at it and I know these numbers and it's what I do. Wouldn't we acknowledge that, hey, why? Why do so many people believe these lies? I guarantee you this right here, this conversation, you will read in the media that this was racist. Because I sat down and
discussed race issues.
Because I sat down and argued with black people. I have been accused of being a Nazi because of sitting down and having conversations. They said, well, you should know that's offensive. That's not my responsibility. I'm actually having a conversation, and so did Charlie. And he was shot for it and vilified for it.
And it wrongly.
And that's wrong, yeah. That's
Yes.
wrongly.
And nobody.
But it's because people believe the lie.
But that's my point. It's because the way information is propagated and given to people.
Yeah.
Once again, via social media, all these other platforms, and most of it is disinformation.
I agree.
So that's the root of the problem, is giving people the wrong information, and then they responding to this wrong information by feeling a certain way about the people that information is informing them about.
Like you, this whole video? If you can acknowledge how shady the media is, if you can acknowledge how much we are all being played in our faces right now, that should implore you to be independently thinking, independent politically, and to literally look at all sides. You can't sit here with this Democrat versus Republican shirt on and say you look at all sides and you didn't even know that Trump denounced white supremacists and neo-Nazis. You can't say you look at all sides when you didn't even feel to look at the full context of the things that Charlie Kirk was saying in his various talks and speeches and whatnot. The lies that are said about people nonstop and the words being thrown, racist, homophobic, misogynistic, bigot, they do hold a certain amount of weight. And it does make people upset. And it does make people look at you a certain way. There's so many judgments that people cast on me because of the videos that I make, and instead of just hearing me out, they just attach these labels to me and don't even give me the time of day. If you know how fragile our media is right now, you know, everything's got a spin, everything's got an angle. Why aren't you looking at everything through a clear lens? Why aren't you looking at everything with an open mind, open world view, and stop allowing your emotions to lead you? This man's clearly smart, because he's calling out and saying a lot of things that I'm saying, but he's just not convicted in it. He doesn't feel it. Like he literally sat there and said people just get in their emotions, they're just reacting to what they're being shown. Like, you wake up. Just wake up to the truth of the matter, what's going on in our media landscape. And do not allow yourself to be controlled by the mainstream media, any institution, school, friend group, influence. It don't matter. If you feel a certain way about something, know why you feel that way. Stand on business, research it, and go about your day. And what you don't know, just say you don't know. That's fine. It's okay not to know every damn thing. Not a lot of us do.
Black kid was about 5 or 6. Shoved my son out of the way to get on the water slide. Okay? My son did nothing. Shoved him out of the way a second time, came back. My son's 2, 3 years, which is a big deal at that point. And then at one point I look over, Mom, no Dad. And I just go like, hey, you know, he's being aggressive. Okay, comes back the third time. And I go, hey, hold on, you have to wait in line. You know what my son said? My son said, well, Daddy, you know what, maybe he's in a real hurry. We should let him go. That was a different interaction. That kid kept doing it to every other and it wasn't the only one. And you know why? Because I've taught my kid, hey, you're gonna have people who look different from you and it doesn't matter, you treat them well. That kid wasn't. And I'm telling you, along with the empirical, anecdotally, if you have a young white person who has these interactions on a regular basis, and I'd be lying to you if I said they were uncommon, while being told they need to shut up because of systemic discrimination, you're gonna create a generation of racists.
Valid. We're out here literally creating racism because of how hard we're going against the people calling out just bad behavior. It's unfortunate, and a lot of it is anecdotal, but even for me, majority of the bad experiences that I have seen and I have had personally have been with people who look like me. This isn't to say there aren't white parents that are bad. Of course there are. Of course. But it is to say that this absence of fathers in the black community and black homes and the trends that come from fatherless homes, we're seeing it. We're seeing it clear as day within the black community with a lot of the younger black youth. Prime example is this, there's a rapper, NBA YoungBoy. He's on tour right now, and several arenas have canceled the shows because how rowdy primarily these black teens are getting. You know, you go to a concert, people buy floor seats. No, they're jumping to the floor. They're having to bum rush the floor, and it's primarily black youth doing this type of behavior. There's no decorum, there's no home training, there's no patience, there's no nothing. Because unfortunately, there is a humongous influx of just single mothers in the black community. Oftentimes mothers who are working so hard to provide for the family, where a lot of times they're working 2 jobs and the kids just shove chicken nuggets and cut on the TV. A lot of these kids aren't being raised. They're being provided for. Hey, here's a roof over your head. Here's some food. I'm working. Mommy needs some time. That's about it. A lot of the kids out here are raising themselves, and we can tell. And the second, and it's unfortunate because a lot of it is black youth. But when you call it out, you're racist. When you call it out, you're a hating ass black man. When you're calling it out, you're an Uncle Tom, you're a coon, you're racist, you're bigoted, you're prejudiced for just calling out the truth of the matter for what it is. And it shouldn't be the case. We should be allowed to point these things out because they are real. And the more you tell us not to point this out and the more you call us racist, the more racist it will be. You call them one so much for just simply stating the facts, they're just gonna be racist. Fuck it, I don't like the blacks no more. I don't wanna be around them, I don't like them, I don't need them. Goodbye, good riddance. That's what we're creating right now. Because for far too long, we're not allowed to approach these conversations with any ounce of nuance. And if you do, you're called racist, called slurs, bigoted, being canceled. It's like we can't keep going on like this. It's just not feasible.
Educational standards. Why is it that the Asian kid does 3 times to 4 times as much homework than the black kid, and the white kid does 2 to 3? Why?
Because it's culturally, it's conditioned.
Exactly.
So why is it better parenting from Asians than white parents? Why?
You said what?
Why is there better parenting? What he's trying to say is, you said bad parenting.
Well, I said
so why is there better parenting from Asians
teaching,
and white parents?
Yeah,
Correct.
culturally, the educational mindset, culturally, when among Asians, they're taught from young that's primary.
Sure.
Over anything else, entertainment,
Also obeying the law.
how you dress, none of that matters.
And it's
Up here matters.
right,
Yeah,
and they're also
I agree.
about 3 to
Right.
4 times more likely to have a father in the household than a black.
That too. That too.
Why is this disproportionately affecting this one kid? Because I have a question, because I actually have, like, my uncle, my aunt's married to a black dude, one of the most accomplishment of all time. Helicopter pilot, National Park Ranger, served his country, has a Ferrari in the driveway, right? He wears, crew socks, so we can forgive him for some things. But my whole life I've had this great black role model in my life. But then I try to ask questions, and I have a hard time asking him because I don't want to upset that relationship.
You're being responsible with your words.
So I want to ask now,
It doesn't help that you look like you're in the Third Reich.
I'm not even going to take that out. But then if you talk about there's no power. Well, we were talking about Charlotte, and you said the black activist judge. Well, in Charlotte, it's not just the black activist judge. It's the DA that's black that instituted those policies. It's a black mayor. So could we at least agree, before the civil rights movement and now, do blacks have more or less institutional power?
There's been some bad and some good that came
We have
along
less
with the civil
institutional
rights
power,
movement.
but you know,
Before the civil rights
but you know what we don't have?
Well,
we,
No,
as
more.
a community, we don't have the unity.
Well, here's the problem we have.
So the last thing I want to ask,
I want to ask you a question before you say the last thing you want to
It
ask.
kind of all throws together, and I'll just let you go.
Okay, go ahead.
Is why was the black community one of
I need a shot. I can't. We haven't done this in a minute. I'm gonna go get a shot because he's stressing me out. Oh, Jersey dude, chain. Do your chain hang low? I'll be back. I got a shot. Ooh, don't spill it. Ooh, okay. Let me squeeze on up in here. Okay. We still recording? Let me get focused in. All right, I'm back. I got my shot because that man's stressing me out. I'm sorry. Jamal's on the brink of coming out. He probably will be out after this shot, but we haven't done this in a while. It's when I just get overwhelmed. I have been recording for a long time now, so if you got your shot with me, cheers, your water, something. We can cheers whatever we want, but cheers to common sense, not being a victim, to recognizing we control the controllable, recognizing that whether you're black, white, doesn't matter. We are a large chunk of the people in the United States right now in the year 2025. We are our ancestors' dream, and we are doing and living a life that so many people actively crave and wish for. So I have so much more to say, but my wrists are getting hurt. Cheers, shot, let's go. That was some rum. I almost, my eyes watering. That was good. When it comes to the culture that is in a lot of these black families and black culture, if we can point out that it's not in our culture to study, prioritize education, prioritize, not so much of sports and not so much of rapping, but actually like maintaining family values, then maybe we can point out the harm that's come from that. Okay, if we can point out, on one end, yes, I am my ancestors' dream and we're doing everything they only can dream of doing. The one downfall to that is especially like the corrosion of the black culture and black families. Back in the day, the families were together. The families were prioritizing just good, genuine things. Even look at black TV. All them black sitcoms were just like normal families with high paying jobs living their life. And now we got baddies. Real Housewives of Atlanta, which was hilarious. I love Nene Leakes. However, just looking at how corroded black culture is, it's disgusting. And that isn't me hating my skin color. That's just me hating the culture that has been created, especially the last 15, 20 years. And it's unfortunate because we are seeing the impact that it's having on our youth and our families, and it's sad. It really is.
You look, if you go back and you look prior to the civil rights movement, let me tell you something right now. You had more black carpenters and tradesmen all over this place.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, that's right. But the problem is, again, if you agree with that, then you'll agree with the fact that if it had not been for the change in the systemic dynamics, that black men would still be in the home or what have you.
Right.
And if
So
black
it's
family would
almost
still
like
be doing it.
federal government policy has not been instituted to help black people ever, but really to make them dependents of the state when they were doing just damn fine without the federal government that you want in more people's lives.
The only reason why
It's almost like
They all hooting and hollering after that damn statistic talking about how dependent we've grown on the government. And it's almost as if before all these government initiatives and the Great Society Act, all these different things, black folk were doing better culturally. He just waltzed right in that, twirling and dipping and diving right into that statistic, right into that very, very great point. And that great point is that maybe, just maybe, all the government dependence that now black people are leaning on and calling more of is not actually helping us. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's actually doing more harm than good.
The question to that is, why is that a problem for white America? And we were already...
Because it's one country.
Because it's what?
We are one country, and the problems of one community...
We're not one country. We're an entity. We're a corporation. The United States is a corporation. It's not a country.
It certainly is. And with that attitude, we can never be a country. If that's the attitude that people have.
Because it's not a country. It was never built. It's written in the Constitution. It's a corporation.
That is
not
definitely
a country.
not written in the...
That is not written in the Constitution. That's just not true.
It's not a country. So what I'm saying is, when we were black people in our own communities thriving, like you said, doing our own thing, why was that a problem for white America? We were doing our own thing. Why did y'all come and burn down the Wall Street, Black Wall Street?
Because they were racist and they missed their slaves. Like, hello, they missed their workers, they missed their slaves. They didn't want to see black people thrive. It was a genuinely racist time. That's why. That's genuinely why. And it sucked. It was unfortunate. I hate that it happened. I do not like that happened, but it did. And what are we going to do going forward now? What are you going to do right now in this current day and age to progress as a black man in America? Personally, individual, what are you going to do about it? Is it controlling the controllable and moving forward? Or is it saying, oh, well, they burned down Black Wall Street and we just can't be left alone? No, we not two countries because white people just keep coming after black people. The only people I see going after another group of people is the blacks. I'm sorry. It's the truth. I don't know how else to say it. It's the data. It's there. We talk about it all the time on this channel. It's not bigoted. It's not racist. I don't hate black people for pointing it out. It's just the truth of the matter. These niggas out here acting buck wild.
We had our thing going. Why is it an issue when we have our own thing going and we're minding our business? White America comes in and figure out a reason to, oh, that's wrong. Y'all are doing something wrong. That's not by the code. That's not by the rules.
No one here is trying to justify clear racist policies of the past or racism of the past. Of course that existed. No one was arguing that.
Here's the thing.
We're not arguing. I'm asking why.
I'm just one thing. It sounds like you're saying that you would want racial segregation because you're
I don't
saying
want worse than segregation. We asked for equality. We didn't get that.
But you're saying your own community doing your own thing.
Do our own thing.
Are you saying that we should be separate communities? That's what I'm asking. Are you saying we should be separate white and black communities? That's what it sounds like a little bit.
Separation may be the answer.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, separation could be the answer.
But if a white person says that, is it racist?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But I think that's
But if you're saying it in a narrative that we are a threat to you guys, so that's why we want to be separate.
But you just said that white people are a threat to black people. That's what you just said. So why can't white people say it? And I don't think separation is the answer.
I didn't say that. I said you guys find a problem with everything that we do.
If separation is the answer,
yeah, reparations. Come on with it.
So who gets the reparations?
The whole black
American descendants of slavery.
What the hell? You guys, if you still here kicking it, I applaud you. Cause I'm just trying to get every little last drop of that. Maybe we should be segregated. Maybe things need to be separate. What, so we can just burn down our neighborhoods again? Don't shoot the messenger. Listen, keeping it real, keeping it 100. You talking about maybe we need to be separate. What happens when black people are just around black people? What's going on in our black neighborhoods? How about that? What are we doing as a black community, black culture, to make a change and make a difference from within, other than getting together and complaining and whining about the past? What are we doing to go forward? There's not a lot of progression there, which is ironic because you always talk about progress as black people, and progress is progress that. Y'all ain't making no progress.
kill aliens.
Yeah.
But see, you say that, but
You shouldn't pay for that. I agree,
that's
right?
Just like
Someone
saying
doing it illegally.
illegal aliens can vote. You damn well know they can.
Of course they can.
No, they can't.
Yes, they can.
Instances have you seen?
How many states have voter ID?
Are you kidding me? Look, man, I'm from Louisiana originally. Okay, when I go to vote, damn it, the first thing they ask me to do is, please let me.
These people are they're blowing my mind. The same people talking about we looking at all sides and we know how corrupt the media can be. They're not even opening up their minds to look outside of their own experience. I know there's a lot of different anecdotal experiences and you want to bring up what you're going through, what you're talking about, yes. But on this specific topic of voter ID, and your immediate thought is, well, I had to show an ID when I had to vote. You're in a state that requires it, okay? There are states that do not require an ID to vote. Therefore, someone illegal can just show up and vote. That's all that it is. Remove yourself for 2 seconds. There are some things where anecdotal stuff can really apply, but there's others where it just does not. And this is one of those cases. Well, I had to submit an ID. No shit, Sherlock. You're in a state that requires it. Wait.
Please let me see your ID.
Yeah, how many states have voter ID?
Okay, then you tell me the number. You got the number.
It's over 20 that don't.
So over 20 states that don't.
We were told illegals couldn't get on Medicaid, but here they are.
But I just told you that I just told you that.
I agree with you.
That is something that has been going on in this country for damn years. Because you know why?
So let's deport them.
Yourself, who's the corporate benefactors? If you
There is this narrative. Illegals aren't sitting here voting. Illegals aren't driving. Illegals aren't getting health care. Illegals aren't getting checks. They're doing all of it, you guys. It don't take nothing but 5-10 minutes to Google. Truth be told, it's why I be sitting here in front of this damn camera. And I'm very grateful. Oh, I'm very grateful for my YouTube channel. I love it. I love sitting here, chit-chatting with you guys. We be kicking it. We be having a good time. But it does make me sit here and wonder, like, damn, do people realize you can cross-reference, you can do all this within 10 minutes? You screaming and crying and yelling about, that's not true, Trump is racist, he this and that. Just look up the full clip. We have a phone. We have Google, we have ChatGPT, Claude, Bing, Yahoo. You can research yourself, you know. There's so many people out there so defensive and so just feeling like they are the ones that are in the correct right of mind and they're the ones that's right. They have all the facts, they have all the receipts, but they didn't look up anything. Anything. And if you're watching this, I love you dearly. One of my really left-leaning friends, we got in this discussion about all the freebies and the things that illegal immigrants can get and have gotten. And he was completely mind blown with the things that I was showing him. And that's the kicker to me. It's like, I'm not even that right wing. I'm just like giving you the proof. Do y'all feel the same way? I feel like I'm not even that that right wing and Republican, I'm just here's the truth. I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, it's true. Illegal immigrants are getting a boatload of free things. Like me pointing that out isn't bigoted. It isn't racist and like Republican talking points. It's like, it's just legit. Just look it up. And I think that's what this whole video boils down to, is Black fatigue part 2. Damn, there's a lot of fatigue, and I have it. I have it. It's real. It's evident. We need more discussions like this. We do. We genuinely need to be talking about race more openly, and the things that we're seeing and we're going through. I think it's very healthy. But I think first and foremost, largely collectively, the left, liberals need to stop being told how to think, and they need to think for themselves. And they need to really research the things that they feel and their opinions and get to the bottom of it. I was there. 2017, early 2017, raging liberal. Out there in the streets crying with BLM. I had no idea why, because I just thought that's what I had to be. Because I'm a black, I have to hate Republicans. Because I'm a gay, I have to hate Republicans. I don't want to ruffle feathers in my friend group. The whole nine. When in reality, when I just started looking at the truth, I'm like, damn, maybe I'm a little bit more conservative, but I just feel like the left left the left. And I've gone through that in another video, so feel free to check that one out and subscribe. But damn, it's like, I want there to be real change and real growth in this nation. I really do. Especially regarding black community and the black culture, because hello, I am black, and this does impact my quality of life in here in the United States. I want black people to be looked at with respect, with love and dignity. It's hard when there is such a huge subset of black people acting a fool, not knowing anything that they're talking about, acting super passionate over nothing. It is saddening, and I want to see a change, and I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful and blessed and fortunate for this platform, because I do see the change. I do see the messages. I do see the comments. I do see the love and support. I do see it all, and I'm incredibly thankful for it, and I love you guys for it. I'm glad we're thinking for ourselves. I'm glad we're waking up and asking questions and pushing back and really just getting to the bottom thing, just talking, just hanging out, vibing. It's my favorite thing to do, and I'm very thankful that you're here. Very thankful that you share my videos, you share my content, that you like the video, that you subscribe to the channel. It means more than you know. So again, if you like this kind of video, be sure to subscribe for more. Go ahead and leave a cloud emoji in the comments and the title, or not the title, but like a video topic that you want me to talk about, and have my producer go through and we can put some more content together for you guys. We're pumping it out nonstop. I love this. We done decorated the studio quite a bit. Getting new camera, new lights, the live podcast. I didn't say that. If you're still here watching this, you just got a little tease. That is happening. There's so much more coming down the pipeline. I'm just incredibly so excited and so grateful to have you guys along for the ride. And before we go, I hope that you know that whatever you're going through in life, it's for a season. It's going to pass. It's called going through it. You're not going to be stuck there. You're going to survive. So I don't know what's going on in your life right now, whether it be friendship drama, relationship drama, personal life, health stuff, family stuff, friends, your job. It doesn't, whatever you're going through right now, you're way stronger than you think you are, and you will fight through it. You just will. But you have to focus on you and only you. You have to lock in tunnel vision and just have a goal, have a North Star you're going to, and work through everything that's coming through your life. Don't ignore shit. Acknowledge it all. Acknowledge it first and foremost. Boom. I'm going through this. I'm going through it. We're going to work through it. We're going to figure out how to need to grow and improve and keep it pushing, because it's all we can do. So with that being said, I love you guys a ton, and I'll catch you in the next video. Deuces.